Good morning, fellow traders. Happy Friday. Today is Friday, the 20th of February. Looking at the markets this morning and kind of reflecting on yesterday. Wow, what an ugly price action day yesterday was. And we are just simply stuck right in this range that we have been in literally all week. So it has just been a, excuse me, need another sip of coffee, I think. But yeah, it has just been a wild week, and really just a big consolidation range. And one of the things I was looking at this morning is if you look at the NASDAQ, we're kind of stuck in an kind of an unfortunate situation, if you will, if that's a good choice of words. So you got the daily 20 or the daily 200 moving average, huge moving average that we have not been below in a very long time, sitting right here below price. You've got the daily 20, the daily 50, and daily 100 sitting right above price. And so I feel like we almost need some kind of a catalyst potentially to move the NASDAQ out of this range. Obviously, the Mag 7 has been getting hit recently, and so it creates a bit of a turmoil, and it creates some very nasty price action within the NQ. What I'm looking for today is obviously you can see this is a pretty clear defined low over the last couple of days, and we're flirting with that. If we can break through that for a break and retest to the downside would be nice. Now you are longing or shorting right into that daily 200, which is a very much a cautionary move. However, there is a decent, I mean, that's 100, almost 200 points there. So there's a very nice trade there if we can get it, if that sets up. To the upside, man, it's ugly. If we can get above yesterday's high of day, you might want to take a long if you get a really clean setup. You obviously have this high coming in from Friday of last week. You've got this overnight high from, let's see, that would be Wednesday night. You've got the Wednesday highs coming in right here that you're kind of longing into, but there is some room to run here. I think the biggest caution for me really is this quadruple top high that we have, and we have the big daily 50, daily 20, or daily 100 moving averages sitting there. You obviously also have the daily 20 here that you'd have to get through in order to get there. So just there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in the NASDAQ. I think the number one move that I'm looking for today is, do we get this break and move to the downside, and can we get this short trade to the daily 200? I think that would be a sweet trade if we could get it. You've got a lot of, I mean, there's just that seems like a trade that should be pretty easy to get if it sets up well. That's obviously the big question before the court. Moving to the ES, similar picture. ES really has a lot more of a ceiling sitting right here. You've got the daily 20, daily 50 moving averages sitting right above price. We've got the daily 100 right here. We're right in the daily 100. It's above us right now. The daily 200 is sitting somewhere quite a bit below, so we do have some room. But once again, you've got the last couple of days lows sitting right here, and if we do break that, I do think there's some nice downside opportunity there on the ES as well. Again, I think the downside here, if you take a short here, obviously paying attention to what the NQ is doing on where to maybe get out or maybe prepare to get out and kind of safeguard a short, that would be a wise move, knowing that if you short this, the NASDAQ also going down, you're going to be shorting into that big daily 200 on NQ. That is something to keep at the forefront of your mind. To the upside, there's a little trade here. But it is a little trade. The best trade really would be to get above this Wednesday high and really break this daily 50 and 100 moving average, or daily, 20 and 50 moving average. If we can break that, now you have a move up into this quadruple top high that we had seen on ES. So between here and here, this is just not an area that is really interesting. I know you have yesterday's high sitting here, and there's a maybe trade there. There's a maybe trade here, but it's going to be a kind of a scalp right up into this high from Wednesday. So just something to pay attention to. I think number one, again, I do like this opportunity for a short. That really looks like it's something that could set up this morning or today. To the upside, I think we have a little bit more of a challenge in front of us on the upside on both NQ and ES. To the downside, maybe that sets up. I mean, also of note, we do have news this morning. I believe we have, let me look here. We have advanced GDP, core PCE numbers at 8:30. We also have flash PMI at 9:45. Those are both red folder events. New home sales at 10. So there's going to be some things happening this morning that may create some catalyst to maybe move this market, and something also just to be cautious of in that first maybe 15 minutes for sure, for maybe the first hour of the market, just kind of being very careful. Moving on to the Dow Jones. Dow Jones, again, this is probably, I mean, the Dow, the ES, and the NASDAQ all look like we have downside. I mean, a break of the daily 100 and the last 2 days lows is sitting right here below us. We did reject right off the daily 20 in the overnight. And there's just a lot of, I mean, you've got a clear, let me just zoom out here a little bit so we can see this better. I mean, I'm not a huge guy, like as far as making trades based on this, but man, that is a head and shoulders if I've ever seen one. And so if we can break below this daily 100 moving average and the last couple of days lows, actually no, not the last couple of days lows, it would be yesterday's low and the Tuesday low. The Wednesday low we are already below, but if you can break below that, that's a sweet short down into these next areas. That would be a really, really, really nice Dow Jones trade. That is definitely something I'm looking for. Is a break of that structured today. To the upside, I think again, we have some nasty price action here. I really think the best long is above the Wednesday highs. If we can get above the Wednesday high for a move up into these previous highs and the all-time highs, I think that's where your best long comes into. Maybe you get a little move and you get something off yesterday's high of day, but you are also longing right into these multiple day highs, and then I don't know, just this is a cautionary area, just kind of the way it's been on really the NQ and ES is very similar. I think we need some kind of a bigger move to get us above here to really create a really nice long opportunity. Again, Dow Jones, love to see that short set up. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. If we get a bounce and we just go right back into this range, it might be one of those days where we just simply don't take a trade. Russell is giving us a different picture, a little bit of a different picture. You have the last couple of days lows sitting down here. You've got the daily 100 moving average. You've got the daily 20 sitting right in the middle of all this nasty price action. We are starting to fall through it here. When I started this video, we were sitting pretty much right at the daily 20. I am probably a little bit more bullish on the Russell than bearish. As crazy as that may sound, and the indices don't always move alike, you've got kind of a stair-stepping lower high forming, so to speak. It may not hold. I mean, this may totally invalidate. But if we get some kind of a hold off this daily 20, you can easily get above some of these previous highs. You could set up a nice long here or here above this high from the overnight, which also corresponds with several of these daily highs that we've had over the last couple of weeks here. If you get a move up into this, that could set up a pretty nice long to test these all-time highs. That really could set up a pretty nice long. There's not much here to hold us back. I mean, you've got some areas to keep in mind here, but this is a worthwhile trade if we can get it. So I guess the thing I would be looking for, especially, is if you get something like maybe an ES or an NQ or a Dow Jones. If you get this to come down and test these recent lows and kind of going right back up into the range like we've seen these markets do the last couple of days, if you get that on those three indices, you could definitely see this set up. This definitely could set up on the Russell. So again, we just have to see what this market gives us. But as crazy as it may sound, I am definitely a little bit more bullish on the Russell than I am bearish. Again, just looking at what the price action gives us today is going to make that determination. Maybe that trade doesn't set up right away. Maybe it goes into next week before we get that. But that is something that could happen. Obviously, if these markets tank and we get some of these shorts that we were looking at earlier on the Dow Jones ES or the NASDAQ, then yeah, we might see further downside and we might be looking for shorts, or maybe we don't get a trade on the Russell at all, because a better short trade would be down below these lows. you would have a nice little short below yesterday's lows. You're shorting right into the daily 100, which is not sure about that. That's a big one. So we'll see. But again, so that's kind of where I'm at this morning. It is Friday. I've had a good week. I want to protect myself and hopefully not have a red day today. I mean, red days are red days. But again, it's just about sticking to my strategy, getting a really good setup on a break and retest, and then allowing the trade to work. And as I've been doing that, it's working out. So that's the plan for today. I wish you the best. Have a good day today. Stay green, my friends, and we'll catch up with you on the next one. Take care, and so long.